Hello, Royal Affairs family. This is Roy,
And I'm Yolanda.
and we're your guides in Royal Affairs, where we show you affairs done right.
So this is the month of July.
It is July.
Not
Oh
1996.
man, y'all need to go back and look at last week's video because I poo-pooed that up real bad.
But this month is our anniversary month. So anniversary month. So in honor of celebrating 28 years of marriage, we wanted this month to be more intimate. Let you guys get to know who is Roy, who is Yolanda. So last week we spoke on how we met, and this week we'll be talking about what our childhood.
Our childhood, who we were as kids. How did we go from little tykes to the people that you see on the channel today? So
Okay, babe.
oh man, so she wants me to lead off. Okay, so I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, in the inner city, a family of 7. So if you think about what they say, the oldest child is one thing, the baby child is uses the spoiled one. They say the middle child is the confused and crazy one. I'm the middle child. So 2 sisters on the end and 3. Oh, here you go. three boys in the middle. So growing up in the inner city, went to public schools. Our family, I wouldn't say that we were well-to-do. We were, able to, put food on the table. My parents were able to put food on the table, take a vacation every now and again, go down to the country, make long road trips, which is kind of an important thing. But there were also some times where it was pretty lean, where we actually needed a little bit of assistance. So for me growing up, it was always going outside when the sun came up, on a Saturday, playing all day, riding bikes, racing down the street with no shoes on, jumping over the railroad tracks to get to the park, and playing basketball with my friends in the street, and playing baseball with a stick and a tennis ball because we didn't have a ball and a bat and a glove. So those are the types of things that kind of shaped me very early on. And I guess the only other thing I'll say too is that grew up in a very religious home. So going to church every Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Wednesday night, Thursday night, cleaning up the church on Saturday, and sometimes even traveling every second and fourth Sunday, 2 hours to get to another church in another state. And always, being involved. Grew up in the church, of course. Started playing in the church as a young adult. No, middle school, high school. Started playing, and yeah, of course. Like I said, went to public schools and then went to Morehouse College, where I met this young lady. So that's kind of a real brief kind of synopsis of, well, who is this kid kind of growing up.
Gotcha. Very interesting. Not as if I haven't heard this story before. So probably not necessarily quite polar opposites, but I am an only child.
Spoiled.
So he says spoiled. Listen, my daddy told everybody when they would say, "Oh, she's spoiled," he'd be like, "She's not spoiled. Like, she earns everything she gets."
I heard
that.
Say it with your chest.
I was an honor roll student, and I was yeah. So I am an only child. I grew up south side of Chicago. Robert Taylor homes. They are not there anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, I was pregnant with our youngest son, and went by there or saw there, but they're no longer there. They're no longer there, and that sort of really hurt. I was like, man, a piece of a very, very important piece of of my life and who I am and all of that stuff. It's no longer there. But anyway,
But you got the memories.
I got the memories. Yeah. Got the memories. So I did not grow up going out when the sun came up on Saturday mornings. Yeah, we didn't, but we did. You know, I don't have siblings, but I have a plethora of cousins. So one aunt and uncle and their cousins lived within walking distance of us, and then had family friend cousins who lived in the other building, you know, within walking distance. So even though there was no, you know, fighting at the breakfast table over who was going to get the prize or anything like that, I did witness that at my cousin's. I did witness that at my cousin's house. I did go to public schools. I went to the top.
Oh. Say it with your chest.
Went to the top public schools in Chicago. Don't know where they rank right now, but at the time went to Beasley Academic Center, and then went to Whitney Young High School. Then went to Spelman College, where this fine man pursued me.
I did, no doubt.
But I thought that we were rich. Living in Robert Taylor. I really thought that we were rich because we had food. We would go on, you know, family vacations. You know, we would eat out on Fridays and Saturdays. The clothes that I wanted, I would get. Christmas, oh my God, my house was just like pathetic. So I actually thought we were rich, and I didn't realize that what's below, like what's below, what is it, lower class? Like what's?
I mean, you got middle class, lower class, and then you got like poverty level.
Yeah, we were at poverty, at poverty level, but
working the working poor, that a lot of people say.
Whatever the case may be, the way that my family and the way that I grew up, I did not know it. We did not realize that because we had so much love and so much, like I said, going on family vacations and things like that. So I thought we were rich, but you know, then I got older and realized, girl, you were not rich, not in finances anyway. But yeah, that's about a brief synopsis of who I was, you know, growing up. Yeah.
Little chocolate thing.
Go embarrassing me again.
Oh man, that's good stuff. I think it's important for our audience to kind of know who we are. And then we also wrote down some questions. So we were prepping for our conversation with you guys, and we wrote down some questions. So I'm going to ask Yolanda to ask me one of the questions. Drum roll.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
I know. Okay.
So are we gonna ask all of these questions?
Well, let's start with one. See how far we get.
I ain't gonna ask the question that you think I'm gonna ask.
Oh, so now this is the reverse psychology. So this is one thing that you should know about Yolanda. Okay. Describe one significant event that shaped who you are today. Describe one significant event that shaped who I am today. So not necessarily the most important event that shaped who I am, but a significant event. Okay, it's right there. I just want to couch it that it's not like, oh, is that the most important thing that ever happened to you in your life? Like, no. But if you ask me about a significant event that shaped who I was in my childhood, I'll say, participating in the Mr. and Ms. Rozelle pageant when I was in elementary school. So this is 6th grade. So you're 12 years old. So the format of the pageant was
elementary.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. 6th grade. In the South, 6th grade was still elementary school.
It's still elementary in the city of Chicago, because
okay.
it was K through 8 for us.
Oh, wow.
But then the suburbs, they do middle school.
Yeah. So it was 5 boys and 5 girls, and so it was a contest, and you had to do a talent, fashion show, acting, and I may be forgetting something else. But the idea that we had to practice every day with our principal's son and be on stage. And I think it was then where I really found my love for being on stage or in front of people, being the center of attention. Not that I had not been on stage before or participated in any events, especially at church, but this was one times, I guess, in a secular environment, where it was
secular environment.
Yeah, secular environment, school academic environment, I should say, non-church, that I was on stage and people, praised you or applauded you based on kind of how well you performed, and I think I did pretty well. I was first alternate. I didn't win. Courtney Jackson, if you're out there, props to you, man. You won that thing.
How many years ago that was?
Boy, that was many years ago.
You remember his name?
Oh, I remember his name.
Okay.
Yep, I remember his name. And at the time, too, this was in the early, mid-'80s, so Team Light Skin was in. And as you can see, I am not Team Light Skin. Good hair and, small features was not part of my pedigree. So being able to just be assured of myself in that particular environment really, I think, kind of shaped my perception and confidence kind of moving forward. It was still rough working through the rest of the 80s. It wasn't until like the, 2000s that we kind of came back. So, what about you?
What about me? What?
Do I get to choose a question?
Choose a question.
I'm going to ask you, name one person that was a significant influence in your early years.
Okay, so that's that would be my auntie. Her name is Paulette, but I call her Auntie PP. And this is why you should never, ever, ever laugh or make fun of people. She and her husband had like kids, and the youngest at the time was, I want to say, in high school or something along those lines. And she got pregnant, and I laughed. And I laughed and I laughed.
Kind of funny to you, huh?
It was so funny to me. So I was like, "Oh, you pregnant, Paulette?" And so it's like, "Oh, Auntie Pee-Pee." But here's why you should never laugh at people, because we also have a group 1 and a group 2. So I was pregnant with a child in high school, right? A senior in high school and pregnant. So yeah, but at any rate, she definitely had a great influence on my life. She is no longer here with us physically, but spiritually, she is definitely here. I remember all of the sayings that she would say.
The remedies.
The remedy. That's about me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if anything were ever to go wrong, you needed help, you didn't know how to do something, it would always be, hey, we need to call Auntie Pee-Pee. But the reason that I say she was a significant influence is that she always she was always my cheerleader. Always, my cheerleader. And because I'm an only child, my mama didn't have, and I was like the practice kid because there was no other people to practice them. So she would always call my aunt for, advice and things like that. And so I would hear my aunt, just tell her stuff. Like my mom called her and was like, she says she feel like just crying. What should I do? I think I must have been going through puberty or something. And my aunt was like, Well, let her cry. Like, what is wrong with you? But just like being that cheerleader, for me, and always making me believe that I could do anything, no matter what it was, no matter the difficulty in it, and just always having my back. So yeah, that was. I heard one of our little ones come up, but yeah, that she definitely was a great influence, significant.
Yep, it made you the resilient person that you are today, and I think you've kind of passed that same wisdom on to other moms. I'm thinking about a couple that called you, and they was like, where'd you get that food from? And you told them, where they got the food from. He was like, yep, you're passing on your wisdom to others. So that's
Try.
yeah, that's pretty good.
I try.
Yeah.
Ask another question.
You want to ask another question?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna ask me a question?
Yeah, because you just asked me a question, right?
All right.
Okay. What's one thing the audience should know about your spouse?
What's one thing that the audience should know about this woman right here?
Seriously.
Two things.
Wait, it's at one.
I'm taking poetic license. Okay, one thing.
Make it two. You can make it two.
Okay, I'll stick to one thing. One thing
now
that
you got me curious. Like, what's two things?
I'll tell you later.
Oh dear Jesus.
One thing that the audience should know about Yolanda is that she is analytical and very tenacious. So the analytical piece is that even in situations where you think something is pretty straightforward, she is the type of person that will stretch that a little bit further. And the benefit to you guys is that if you have questions, thoughts, concerns, or want to know about something, it won't just start with something. It may seem small, but Yolanda has a keen way of expanding your horizon by thinking through different angles of a situation. So I think that is definitely a benefit to you guys as well. I've had the challenge of,
I would say it's a benefit now
because I'm pretty straightforward, and I'm not going to make this about me. Pretty straightforward, like A plus B is C. But 2A plus 3B plus DY to the fifth power conjugated and calculated, and the derivative of that equals something else. And so Yolanda helps to kind of bring those things in so that you have a more holistic view.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I guess. I guess.
Now, do I ask you a question?
Yep.
So I asked you name one person that was a significant influence in your early years. Let's do this. Well, I want to ask you then, describe one event that was a significant event that shaped who you are today.
So I don't necessarily know if I can say it's like one event. I think it's just I don't want to say series of events, but I think wholeheartedly it is just growing up in the hood, in the inner city of Chicago. When I was in second grade, I wrote an essay that said I wanted to be a lawyer. No one in the family was a lawyer. I didn't know any attorneys or anything like that. I just saw that they were people that helped people. Like, no matter what the situation, no matter what the circumstance was, they were the ones who helped people. And so in seeing all of the tragedies and atrocities that happen in the hood, I was like, okay, yeah, some of this, yeah, I know, but some of this is like, really, that shouldn't be like that. So the desire to help others has always been there, and maybe that's a result of just being in the hood, living in the hood, but not necessarily one significant event, but just what do you call that? Just
one significant circumstance.
Just a part of, just an attribute. Is that an attribute? I don't know.
Or circumstance that you were in. Circumstance
makes it seem like there's just one part of of my early childhood that shaped me, and now as an adult, that fire to help others is ever so present. It never died. Now, being an attorney, and I wanted to be a criminal defense attorney, but then I sat on the jury, and I was like, you know what, this ain't for me. But that desire to help others is still there. So that is one of the reasons I'm so excited that we are starting this platform. One of the reasons I'm so excited that I am sharing my story and my experience with other women who want to heal and move forward and thrive after experiencing infidelity. So that desire to help others is still there,
and part of why we're here today. So if there are other questions that you guys want to hear from us, feel free to drop them in the comments, and we'll be sure to answer those questions as well. And as well, if you like what you're hearing, be sure to hit that like button, and the subscribe and notification bell are also there for your convenience, so that you can stay up to date with our latest content. Did we miss anything?
No, next month, not next month, Lord, I'm doing to you.
Oh, you're doing me. So it's not just me.
Next week,
next week,
we'll be back, again, the month of July. So we're talking about.
It's our anniversary.
Yeah, it's our anniversary month. So we'll be coming back. Maybe we'll bring the family. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Our oldest, our group one, like, we gotta try to make appointments with them.
Right.
We have to make appointments with them, but group 2, they're here. So
they're here. Right.
They're here.
Right.
But yeah, maybe we'll bring the family. But we'll definitely be back to share more of who Roy is, more of who Yolanda is, so that you guys can get to know us. Yeah, I think that's about it, right?
Because I'm Roy.
And I'm Yolanda.
And we're your guides in Royal Affairs, where we show you
affairs done right. See you guys next time.